Man, I want to talk about Keith Thurman. To me, Keith Thurman is still the best welterweight. Keith Thurman is the only welterweight that held two titles. Now, he did have one of the titles vacated due to inactivity because of his injuries, but he did not lose the belt in the ring. Keith Thurman is still the best welterweight. Make no mistake about it. He's the number one welterweight. Crawford, I believe Crawford can beat anybody at welterweight. Spence is a good welterweight. But Keith Thurman, a lot of people, look, man, a lot of people are down and, talking crazy, mad talk about Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman is still a very, very skillful fighter, knowledgeable fighter. He's adaptive, reactive in the ring. He can also fight in the softball stands, and as well as the orthodox stands. People, I don't know if people realize that, or have they ever seen him switch? I see him switch against Leonard Bundu and knock him down, and I see him, fight very well in the southpaw position. And Keith Thurman is very, very explosive. See the one thing that Keith Thurman does have that even Terrence Crawford doesn't have really. He has explosive power, and I mean off the bounce, bouncing off his toes. He's very explosive. He's explosive stationary. He's explosive going backwards and going forward. And people want to talk about all the. I don't know why people talk about the man physically, like they talk about his hair. I mean, I see so many videos of people talking about the man hair and the man playing the flute. Like, who cares, man? Are y'all men? Or, I mean, are you into Keith Thurman? Or what is it, man? Like, a man doesn't talk about another man physically like that, man. Like, really? Come on, man. Like, talk about what the man doesn't do in the ring. See, I think a lot of people talk about him like that because they know in the ring, the man is still undefeated. The man, he's still the only person that fought two welterweights, and there was, at the time, they were legitimately ranked in the top 5. He fought Danny Garcia and Sean Porter back to back, and they was legitimately ranked in the top 5 when he fought them. He's the only welterweight of current right now, other than Manny Pacquiao, to do that. None of these other guys have done that. Earl Spence haven't done that. Now you can say, well, this guy don't want to fight Earl Spence. Okay, whatever. It didn't happen. I only can talk about what happened, and what happened is Keith Thurman and Crawford is new to welterweight. Yes, he beat Jeff Horn, and Earl Spence, he beat Kell Brook. But Lamont Peterson and the guy that Earl Spence just fought, his mandatory. I'm not getting on him because the guy wasn't mandatory. Those guys, other than Kell Brook, his mandatory. At the time, they even said it on Showtime. His mandatory didn't even fight anybody in the top 20. So say what you will about that, but like I said, Keith Thurman is still the best welterweight. Now, a lot of people will say, well, no, he's not the best welterweight because he's inactive. Now, yes, he's inactive, and I don't like the fact that he's inactive, but the man got injured. People get injured. I mean, it seemed like Keith Thurman is a little bit injury prone. Hopefully, the time off that he's having off would allow his body to heal, and he will be able to come back and fight a couple tune-ups. I believe he's going to need a couple tune-ups. If I was him, I wouldn't rush into fight none of these big-name guys yet. I mean, he already beat Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, so I'm not even worried about him fighting Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. I'm not worried about that. I mean, unless one of them at the time is holding his WBC title, then okay. But if then one of them holding his WBC title, I'm not calling for him to fight them two guys again. The only two guys I'm calling for Keith Thurman to fight when he's ready is Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, or either one of those guys. The combination, or either both of them. But I'm not calling for him to fight no Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. He already beat those guys. And Keith Thurman, you know what I'm saying? He should fight before the summer is over. I believe he will fight before the summer is over. And we'll see how he looks when he get in the ring. Because if he get in the ring, a lot of people are going to say, well, he fought a bum and he knocked out a bum. But you have to understand he has to fight some tune-ups. But, every great fighter, when they come back and they're gone for a little while, all it takes is one or two fights, and people back talking about him again. People will be back talking about Keith Thurman on how good he is, because people act like they don't know that Keith Thurman is a great fighter. And this man is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Just go back and look at the man. Look at the man fights. The man is a great fighter. The man shows everything you need to show in the ring to beat any fighter at 147. He can beat any fighter at 147. Let me say that again. Keith Thurman can beat any fighter at 147. He's a big problem, a huge obstacle for any fighter at 147. And that includes Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. And he already beat Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. I don't want to keep on saying that. But we'll see, man, when he come back. But hey, I ain't gonna let people just, you know what I'm saying, just talk about the man like he never accomplished anything. No. I know everybody's salivating over Crawford and Errol Spence, but this man right here, those two guys is not above Keith Thurman. I'm sorry. I like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is who I'm riding with to be undisputed at welterweight. But right now, Terrence Crawford is not above Keith Thurman. Errol Spence is not above Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia and Sean Porter definitely not, because he beat those two guys already. So, subscribe to the channel, man. I'm out.